But equally important with recruiting is retention. Obviously, it does us no good to recruit a significant number of new people in the front door if they're leaving out the back door in equal or greater numbers. In the past 4 years, over 200,000 Rotarians, and this is all of North America again that I'm talking about, have terminated membership. And we've seen that trend in our own district as well. In fact, a club, they tell me, those people that have been around longer than I have, tell me that a club can expect to lose about 10% of its members every year. Well, I expect to lose none, but our attrition or turnover rate is now close to 12%, more than 10%. So clearly, we have a problem that needs to be addressed. Now, I recognize some turnover is kind of uncontrollable. When people get old and gray like I am, sooner or later they seem to pass away. It seems to be inevitable. I keep hoping they find a cure for that, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. But that's kind of uncontrollable turnover. Sometimes people change jobs. They move out of the community in which the club exists. A transfer of membership perhaps in the new club in a new area where the person is moving to can be helpful there, but again, that's kind of uncontrollable. Sometimes health issues get in the way of regular attendance or even regular membership. A leave of absence can be helpful then, but again, that's kind of uncontrollable. I'm more concerned about the controllable causes of turnover. You know, being an old human resources guy, we used to do exit interviews of all those people that indicated they might be leaving to find out why. May not help that particular individual, but with the feedback you get, it can be helpful to those people that remain. Rotary International recommends at least 3 functions be covered by every club, and your club is ahead of most in this respect because you have them all covered. But the first is membership and retention. There's also the Rotary Foundation, and thirdly, public relations. But it would be up to that membership and retention committee and its chair to do those exit interviews. Ask people why they might be leaving. Something to think about. Also, different subject, Polio Plus. This obviously is Rotary's signature project. We're very close to eradicating that disease from the face of the earth, certainly too close to quit now. So let's continue to support the Polio Plus campaign. Our EYE's goal of $2,000 per club per year is still in effect. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to come up with $2,000, although that's probably not a problem for this club. But every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. And finally, the Rotary Foundation. Let's continue to support the Rotary Foundation. It's what allows us to do good things in our own communities and around the world. As I mentioned to your board committee chairs in our meeting before this meeting, I often hear people say, well, I'd prefer we keep our money in our own communities. Let's spend it in our own cities and towns. And there's nothing wrong with that, that's fine. But remember, Rotary International, the foundation, helps us do exactly that. The group study exchange program I mentioned earlier is an example. Ambassadorial scholars, another example. District simplified grants and other grants. Other examples in which the foundation helps us locally. But also remember our name, Rotary International. Kind of indicates we're an international organization, doesn't it? So we have an obligation to do good things around the world. In short, do what you can where you are with what you have. Do what you can where you are with what you have. How many have heard the term future vision? Some of you don't count because obviously you attended Pet's earlier, Stuart. And Woody, you don't count. Phil, you don't count. But I'm happy to see some of the others of you have heard about future vision. It is a new grant process being implemented by Rotary International. It will take effect July 1 of 2013. And it will require any club who applies for a grant to become certified. And exactly what that means and the process that the club will have to go through to become certified is being worked on currently by a district task force chaired by past District Governor Rick Baumgardner. And you'll hear about future developments as they occur. Certainly stay tuned. We'll keep you informed. And I came across something the other day that I thought you might be interested in. It's a poem written by Ella Wilson, whom I frankly had never heard of before, but it kind of caught my eye. There are just two kinds of people on earth today, just two kinds of people, no more, I say. Not the rich and poor, for to count a man's wealth, you must first know the state of his conscience and health. Not the humble and proud, for in life's little span, who puts on airs is not counted a man. Not the happy and sad, for the swift counting years bring each man his laughter and each man his tears. No, the two kinds of people on earth I mean are the people who lift and the people who lean. Wherever you go, you will find the world's masses are always divided in just these two classes. And oddly enough, you will find too, I ween, there's only one lifter to 20 who lean. In which class are you? Are you the one who is easing the load of overtaxed lifters who toil down the road? Or are you a leaner who lets others do your share of labor and worry and care? Something to think about. Something to think about. And finally, if you remember nothing else at all about this terrific talk I've just given to you, remember just two words: have fun. Have fun. Let's enjoy the Rotary fellowship, friendship, and camaraderie that we share. And having met with your board and committee chairs before this meeting, I believe your club is having fun, and that's great. I'm happy to see that. President Stewart will recall this was one of our points of emphasis in our President-elect training seminar in Nashville held earlier this year, and I was happy to see that. I don't mean to minimize the importance of Polio Plus membership and retention and the Rotary Foundation. Obviously, those are very important items. But I would suggest to you that they will follow naturally if we just have fun. So let's have more family events, more social events. Let's have fun. Thanks again for inviting me. Best of luck for the rest of the Rotary year. If we can do anything for you at the district level, feel free to holler at us. Thank you.